What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today we are talking about Way of the Hunter. We have some interesting news coming down the pipe, and it's looking like we're going to be getting a new animal for Tikkamoon. That's right. So they're going back. They may even be going back through other maps and giving us animals that we haven't had on those. So that's pretty cool to see. They were really adamant about not doing that in the past, and it's really cool to see that they are kind of changing their stance a little bit. But before we get into it, go ahead and drop a like, push this thing out to more people, help the channel grow, of course, and let's get into it. So if you haven't seen by now, they released a image, they meaning Nine Rock Games released an image of the new animal, and some people took it into post-processing and kind of lightened it up a bit and was able to tell kind of what the animal is that we're going to be getting. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to go ahead and throw that image up now. That way you can kind of go ahead and try and take a guess. But it's definitely not an elephant, and it's definitely not a giraffe. I think we should probably just wipe those things from our memory for a while, because that's just not going to happen in this title. And it makes me a little concerned for what we're going to see next in the new US map, but that's just been the way that this has kind of been pushed. This product doesn't really push boundaries. They really stick to what they know, and I think that's what we're going to see more of in the future. But yeah, here's the image. As you can see, it's got a couple horns here, nice little like hump on its back, kind of a hump on its back, but it's booking it somewhere. And when people lighten this up, it definitely looks like a, I don't know if it's called like an eland or what that is. I've never even heard of this creature, but they are pretty big, over 2,000 pounds. So it's a pretty big creature, and it looks like it's coming to Way of the Hunter with the next update. So on the next update, we're going to be having a new animal on Tikkamoon. That's why I'm over here. I wanted to check it out, but I also wanted to give you the firearm of my choice, at least what I've been running here lately, and why I run this firearm. So I want to dive into that a little bit, give you what I think is the best rifle for Tikkamoon. Now, I guess before we get into what is the best rifle, we should kind of understand what makes the best rifle, right? And for me right now, it's not only about getting a harvest, but it's about getting a harvest with that 5-star hunter rating. And it's about making the rifle as versatile as possible. So I want to be able to take down as much as possible with that 5-star rating. And luckily in here, I can take down most of the mid to big game, even down into the smaller game. I mean, this thing right here is insane, and it's not the Remington 700 Alpha 1 Hunter. That's not the one I'm talking about. This one is comparable to what I'm about to show you, which is this full stock right here. But the PRC round, the 7mm PRC round, is comparable to this over here, which is the 9.3x6.2. This round is really good for what I'm going to be showing you and why I think it's the best round for Tikkamoon. Not only does it say Safari, right, on all of them, except for this one, I guess, but not only does it say that, right, making it sound like the best, but it actually, for me, it has proven to be the best rifle if I just want to grab one and go and know that I can make this thing work and I can get a 5-star hunter rating every time. So yeah, this rifle right here is the Steyr Mannlicher CL2 full stock. This one, not only does it look really good, I love how this rifle looks, but it also does the job, and that's kind of what we're wanting. You got iron sights on the thing, you can mount a scope on that thing, and just look at it. A full stock rifle, very slick, very good looking, and I believe it is the only one in the game. Maybe the guide rifle is another one, the 350. I'll have to check it out. I don't quite remember, but this is a slick looking rifle. Twisted barrel, nice iron sights, good bolt action. I like it. Hey, and we even got our sling mounts there. But yeah, the 9.3x6.2 is a really good round for pretty much all the game in Tikkamoon. And I'm going to give you a couple ranges to be wary of, because you can get a little carried away in some instances, but for the most part, you're gonna be fine. It's a really good round, and it takes them down pretty quick no matter what you're shooting at. So if you can see right here, we're going to be looking at the muzzle energy because we really need to exceed about 4,480 some to be able to take down a Cape Buffalo, right? So we got that box checked. Now, we're also going to look at the other rounds just to see what they offer, right? We have 47.95. Now, this is the one I suggest using for Cape Buffalo. It gives you a little more power and you can push that round out a little further and still get that 5-star hunter rating. I'm going to show you what I mean. I get a little closer than I wanted to in this shot that I'm about to take, but it's going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. And then we have this round right here at 47.37, which is one I would suggest using if you're going to be taking shots at other game. But you can use this one right here. I'm pretty sure I used this one, but just making sure that you kind of start with the lowest starting point on some animals and the higher starting point on other animals will help you get those ranges. And just understanding what the dynamics and like the ballistics of the round are, that will always really help you. So what I'm going to be getting at here, I know that was a little confusing what I was just talking about, but what I'm getting at is if you're looking to take down a Cape Buffalo with this round, you need to be somewhere around 150. Now it seems pretty close, but I feel like a lot of hunters are harvesting from about 100 to 250, right? Especially out here in Tikkamoon, I think a lot of guys are being able to push it out to 380, which is where your binoculars stop giving you the feedback. So I think a lot of guys are able to push that far, and that's kind of why I wanted to stick with this round. So 150 is definitely a good spot to get 5 stars with a Cape Buffalo using this ammo type. Now this is the ammo type I tested, didn't test the other ones. This is the ammo type I tested because this one is the one that bleeds off the fastest, but it also packs the biggest punch. All right, so this one doesn't bleed off as fast, like the energy, and it packs the biggest punch. So this is the one I used, and right around 150, you are good for 5-star. And anything lower than that, you're going to get a 5-star hunter rating on a Cape Buffalo. And you may be able to push that out just a little bit further. I was probably on the edge with my hunt that it's just really, really close. So make sure you keep that in mind. Now the one I believe I used for taking a Springbok, which I would say is probably the smallest of the big game, right? Is this round right here. And here, you actually really want to push out to about 200 or so, because that's really where this round starts bleeding off enough energy that you're able to hit about 3,200, 3,300, and that still gives you the 5-star hunter rating for Springbok. So you don't have to necessarily be in the yellow zone with this rifle to make it happen. You can still get 5 stars. You just have to get that energy, and you have to get a good shot placement, making sure you're taking down lungs, heart, one of the vital organs, right? But that's kind of why I'm doing this round. You can come over here and you can see right there, Black Wildebeest max of 4,000. You need to understand what you're shooting and where you're shooting at. Max is 47, 6,000, but you need to get up there to get it. So 4486, like I was saying. Now the next one that we need to take a look at is down here at Springbok, and there you have 3125. You go over that and you're likely to break your hunter rating and to destroy it a little bit. But with this rifle, it's just not the case. You just need to make sure you're taking good shots anywhere from like 200 and out. And then with Cape Buffalo, it's 150 and in. So that's pretty much the dirty of it is you can get every medium to large game animal with this rifle and get your 5-star hunter rating. And you can carry around a shotgun with some pellet load for all the birds in the small game. You don't have to worry about carrying another rifle, and that gets you kind of the double rifle build with one covering most of them. So that's kind of what I would suggest, is rocking this Steyr Mannlicher CL to the 9.3x62. Really, really good rifle, and I've been able to make some really good shots. You're one shot down on any Springbok from pretty much any distance. I think the one I hit was a little far back. That's probably why I didn't get the insta drop. Otherwise, I was getting insta drops on Springbok and still getting the 5-star hunter rating. Now, again, out to 200 meters. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, this is the build we're looking at. And hopefully it helps you kind of get ready for Tikkamoon and all the fun we're going to be having here soon. Let me know what you think this new animal is. I'm not 100% sure if it's an eland or you know, what it could possibly be. Looks like a bigger gems box, so that's kind of what I get from the eland, and they're pretty big as far as the size of Cape Buffalo go. They're fairly comparable. Like, I was looking at images and you can see that it's definitely comparable. But with that, I think I'm going to get out of here. Let you enjoy the rest of your day without me bugging you. And as always, have a good day.